best to tackle them. Welcome. If you have just arrived, welcome. So I've got a couple of props that I just want to quickly go over as we're waiting for everyone to arrive. So if you have something that is similar to a yoga bolster, so the shape of a yoga bolster is this. So it's a big roll. It's basically a round pillow. If you have something like this, so just a thick pillow somewhere in your apartment, you can use it to support the backs of your legs. You can just slide it under the backs of your thighs or under the backs of your knees. And this is going to support your lower back. So if your lower back is sometimes giving you a bit of trouble when you're lying on your back for too long, you can alleviate that back discomfort in advance by using something like this. So a thick round pillow or anything that resembles that in shape. So you don't have to buy all of the expensive yoga props. You can always get creative and find something around the house that works just as well. So maybe just a gigantic pillow that you can put under the backs of your legs. So welcome if you have just arrived. I want to show you one more thing that you might be interested in using for this particular practice. So what I like to use is a folded scarf, something like this. It's actually quite thin, and you can use that instead of a pillow to support the back of your head, because you're going to be lying on your back for about 25 minutes today, and you might start to feel the hardness of the floor through the mat, or you can start to feel a bit of discomfort at the back of the head. I wouldn't necessarily use an actual pillow that will take your spine from out of alignment, and that's not what we want in Yoga Nidra. So instead, something that will give you a little bit of softness, but is not going to elevate your head too much, would be perfect. And one more prop that you might want to use, or something that is similar to this, is an eye pillow. So an eye pillow looks like this, and you don't necessarily have to have custom-made eye pillow. You can just find another scarf, maybe a thinner one, or maybe use a mask that you get on an airplane to block the light out. This is also something that will make your practice even more enjoyable, and that will help you relax the muscles around the eyes. If you have a weighted pillow like this one, it is particularly grounding. So I really like to use it on my eyes when I do Yoga Nidra. So welcome if you've just arrived. Welcome, hello. We've got so far Switzerland. We've got more Switzerland. We've got Denmark joining us today. Any other countries that I haven't identified just yet? I can see that I know many of you already. So I can just write down which country are you practicing from today. So there's London on the line as well. That's great. Hi, Lorna. Anyone else who is not from Switzerland, not from Denmark, not from England? Great, we've got US. Welcome to Emily. So now it's officially 8 p.m. here in Switzerland, and we are going to start. Just one more quick reminder, maybe not reminder for those of you who just joined, that's new information. I'd like for you to find a place where you can be comfortable, where you won't be distracted, where you won't be disturbed. If you've got your family in the apartment and they're still awake in your time zone, maybe find a room where they won't be entering and inform them that you need a little bit of quiet space. You can do this practice in bed if it's bedtime, or if this is just a place where you feel more comfortable. And you can drift right into sleep when we're done. That's absolutely allowed. There's nothing wrong about doing that. That's a perfect preparation for sleep as well. So the props that you might be interested in using are a bolster or a big pillow under the backs of your legs or under the backs of your thighs. Then you can use something like a folded scarf, not too thick, but rather thin, for the back of your head, and maybe something similar to an eye pillow or an eye mask. And if you're new to this practice, you can just stay with me and watch me for just a few minutes before you come into a restful pose so that I can introduce you to what is going to happen. So Yoga Nidra actually means yoga sleep. And this is a sleep meditation, a meditation where the mind is actually drifting between wakefulness and sleep, trying to find that interesting place in between, where the mind can rest and where the entire nervous system can reset. And the way that this practice works is actually quite effortless. You're going to be resting on your back the whole time, and you're going to be guided by me. So you don't have to worry about your mind drifting or about monkey mind following thoughts or getting distracted. You're actually going to be receiving a lot of guidance along the way. So you will be taken through 8 different stages of deep relaxation in this Yoga Nidra practice. And if at any point you lose your focus, just come back to my voice. That's the only thing that you need to do. If you find yourself thinking about something or worrying about something, just once again, make your way back to my voice. Use my voice as your anchor in this practice. And one more thing that I want for you to know about Yoga Nidra, in particular if you're new to this practice, is that in the beginning and in the end of Yoga Nidra, I'm going to prompt you to create sankalpa. So sankalpa means resolve or resolution. That's basically creating an intention, not only for this practice, but an intention for your life. So you will be thinking about something really important to you that you would like to bring into your life, manifest in your life. And this is not an intention that you only set up once for this particular practice, and then you can change it next time that you do Yoga Nidra. I want for you to think about a sankalpa that you can stick with. So something that you can actually go back to again and again and again whenever you're practicing Yoga Nidra, so that you can plant the seeds of this intention deep into your subconscious mind, and so that you can refocus both your subconscious and conscious mind to bring you closer and closer towards that thing that really matters to you. So if you're not an English native speaker, you can also create sankalpa in your own language if you feel more comfortable doing it that way. So this is just a quick introduction into what might be new information for you if you haven't done Yoga Nidra. And one more stage that I'm going to take you through is a body scan. So as I'm taking you through the body scan after sankalpa, just let your mind drift from one body part to the next. There's no movement necessary. You don't literally have to do anything other than follow my voice and the guidance. Placing your attention on different parts of the body. And if you find yourself falling asleep while you're practicing Yoga Nidra, that's okay. So don't blame yourself, don't beat yourself up. If you can, attempt to stay aware and awake. But if you do fall asleep, that's usually just a sign that you're a little bit tired, or maybe really tired, and you need that rest. So let this be your introduction to sleep if necessary. So if you have any questions, ask me before we begin. Great, welcome to Maya from Croatia and Celine from Belgium, Deb from Cornwall, England. We have more US, more Denmark, brilliant. So very international gathering in every way. If you have anything that you want to ask me before we begin, go for it. And if everything is clear, I want for you to find yourself a comfortable position that you're going to be resting in, lying on your back. So check in with yourself, prop yourself up using the support props for the back of your head, maybe a thin pillow or a folded scarf. If you have any lower back issues or you just want for this position to be luxurious and really comfortable, slide a bolster or a round pillow or something that can elevate the backs of your thighs or the backs of your knees off the ground. And perhaps also something to cover your eyes. And something to keep you warm, maybe a blanket. So make sure that you have an extra layer, because the body temperature is going to slightly lower as you're taking into the parasympathetic nervous system. So this is the restful state, which is also referred to as rest and digest nervous system state, parasympathetic. That's what Yoga Nidra is going to emphasize in your body. So as you come to rest on your back, you won't be able to obviously see me anymore, and you don't have to. Just let my voice be your guide. Take a moment to make yourself really comfy. So ensuring that your body feels symmetrical, making sure that your clothes and your coverings feel right, and there's nothing in your way. So if you need to make any final adjustments, if you need to change your position, if you need to wiggle a bit so that you find the most perfect shavasana, these are a few minutes for you to do so. And then take 3 deep, releasing breaths now. In through the nose and softly out through your mouth. Breathe in deeply through your nose. And then open your mouth just a bit and let the breath out. And one more, breathing in deeply through your nose. Hold your breath for just a brief moment. And then slightly open your mouth and let the breath go. Good. I can close your mouth. Begin to establish deep abdominal breathing in and out through your nose. Notice in the way your breath is traveling through the entire body. How it's entering through the nostrils. How it's making its way down into your lungs. Noticing how the lungs are converting the air you breathe into tiny bubbles of oxygen that begin to travel through the entire body. Essentially, your breath traveling all the way into your fingertips, into your toes, into the crown of your head. Observing the process of breathing. Every part of your body breathing. And then with your eyes closed, beginning to observe the space around you. Noticing the atmosphere and the temperature in the room. Noticing the texture of your yoga mat or the surface of your bed that you're resting on. Then beginning to notice the sounds. So first of all, bring your attention to the sounds that are really far, far, far out in the distance. Perhaps very subtle sounds. You don't have to identify the sounds. Just allowing your mind to drift from one sound to the next. Then bringing your awareness a little closer so that you can begin to notice the sounds that are just outside the room. If you find yourself wishing that the sounds were not there, or that the apartment or house was more quiet. See if you can let go of that wishful thinking, rather cultivating that approach of a witness, just witnessing, observing the sounds exactly as they are. You don't have to pretend that they're not there. Just observe. And finally, bring your attention really, really close, observing the sounds in the room. And finally, the sounds in your own body. Observing the sound of your breath. Observing the sound of your heartbeat. Noticing the sounds happening in your digestive tract. And then letting go of all sounds. Coming back to your breath. Noticing if the pattern of your breath or the way that you're breathing has changed somewhat compared to when you started the practice. And then as you're ready, I'd like for you to think of something that is extremely important to you. So this is sankalpa that I mentioned before we started the practice. Your resolve, your intention, something that you would really like to manifest in your life. So think about what would really bring more meaning into your life. What would bring more depth? What would make you feel more fulfilled? And then create a short and simple sentence, formulating your sankalpa internally. Make the sentence in the present tense, as if this is already happening. And then memorize the sentence, word by word, with precision. And internally repeat this sentence to yourself 3 times. And now letting go of your sankalpa, and instead bringing your attention to your physical body. Allow me to take you through different parts of your physical body, one body part at a time. You don't need to make any movement. Just follow my guidance, placing your attention on one body part at a time. So starting by bringing your attention to your right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, right wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, side, waist, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, front of the foot, right toes, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. All right toes together. And now bring your attention to the other side. First of all, noticing your left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, side, waist, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, front of the foot, left toes, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. All left toes together. Now bringing your attention to the back of your body. Start by noticing the heels, the contact of the heels and the floor. Bringing your attention to your calves resting on the floor. Backs of the knees. Backs of your thighs. Buttocks. Lower back. Middle back. Upper back. Backs of the hands. Backs of the arms. Backs of the shoulders. Back of the neck. Back of the head. Now bring your attention to the crown of your head. And then to your ears. Now letting your attention move through the front of the body. Bring your awareness to your forehead, eyebrows, eyebrow center, eyes, nose, tip of the nose, nostrils, cheeks, lips, chin, and jaw. Then move in your attention to the front of your neck, collarbones. Bring your attention to the front of the right shoulder, front of the left shoulder, fronts of the arms, palms of your hands. Coming back to your chest, center of the chest, solar plexus, upper abdomen, lower abdomen, internal organs, fronts of your hips, fronts of the thighs, knees, shins, fronts of the ankles, fronts of your feet, back to your toes. Now I'd like for you to bring your attention to your right leg, whole right leg. Then bring your attention to your left leg. Feel your whole left leg. Feel both legs together. Then bringing your attention to the right arm. Feel your whole right arm. Bring your attention to the left arm. Feel your whole left arm. Then feel both arms together. Bringing your attention to the back of your torso, the front of your torso, your whole face, and your whole head. Now feel the whole body together. Feel the whole body together. Observing your body, resting effortlessly. Observing your body, resting with effortless ease. Now bring about a feeling of heaviness, a sensation of heaviness. Make your whole body heavy. Imagine that your entire body is becoming really heavy. Feel heaviness. Experience heaviness. And now reverse the sensation. And instead, bring about a feeling of lightness. A sensation of lightness. Letting your whole body feel light. The whole body feels light. A feeling of lightness. A feeling of effortlessness. Now letting go of both sensations. Bring your attention to the way your body is resting. Noticing the contact points between the body and the ground. And see if you can begin to surrender even more to the support of the ground beneath you. See if you can soften and ease into that support. See if you can let your body melt into those contact points between your body and the ground. Trusting that the ground will carry you. Trusting that support. An experience of trust as you let your body relax completely into the support of the ground beneath you. With every breath, softening and releasing more and more deeply. With every exhale, see if you can melt the tensions in the muscles and let go more and more deeply. Every little bit of tension is melting away. Trusting the earth supporting you. Trusting the process of life supporting you. Letting yourself be held and carried. Letting yourself be fully supported by the ground on which you're resting. Trusting the process of life. Trusting the unfolding. Now see if you can remember your sankalpa, that intention that you have created for yourself in the beginning of the practice. See if you can remember that phrase, that statement with precision, word by word, exactly the way that you have created it. And then mentally repeat it to yourself 3 times. With your eyes still closed, beginning to observe the space around you. Beginning to externalize your awareness. Noticing how the room feels. Noticing the temperature. And then noticing the sounds once again. Beginning to gradually come back into your body if you drifted far away. Gently moving your fingertips. Gently moving your toes. And rolling your head from side to side. You can take a few deeper breaths as you are preparing to end this meditation. Observing the aftertaste of the practice, the effect of the practice. And then you can stretch your arms. You can stretch your whole body. And eventually roll onto the side. Rest on your side for a bit. And maybe just stay there and drift into deep restorative sleep. Or if you still have some plans for tonight, you can begin to gradually make your way up into a seated position. Don't rush, really take your time. See if you can stay in this very slow mode that you have established through the practice of yoga sleep. And as you come back into a seated position, once again, reflect on what the practice did. Whether it was easy for you to stay with me and to follow the guidance, or whether you ended up falling asleep and drifting into a completely different dimension. So starting to gradually come back. And my suggestion for the rest of the evening is to keep things really grounding and really as simple as possible, not too much stimulation. If you can avoid going back to your work responsibilities, I would suggest that you do that. Unless you are watching me from the States where it's still daytime. It's just 2:30 at the moment in New York, I heard. So if this is where you're watching us from, obviously go on with your day, but just make sure that you preserve that cocoon of calm that you have created for yourself. And if you are watching me from Europe, then really see if you can keep your evening uneventful and keep your lights to the minimum, really making sure that the entire body remains in the state that you have induced, ready for sleep. Now I'm going to stay here for a few more minutes just in case you want to share in the chat what the practice did, or if you have a question for me that you want to have answered. If you want to say hi Nina. So let me know how it went for you, and if you're interested in having more Yoga Nidra, I'm going to gladly bring you more. Some of you might have heard that I'm completing a program that I've been working on for about 8 months now. So I've been building a meditation course, and it's a 21-day program, the last week of which is actually fully dedicated to Yoga Nidra. So I have been working hard on creating a collection of new Yoga Nidra practices that are all Ayurvedically aligned. So there will be a practice that has a very grounding character, the earth element practice. The practice that is very effective in dealing with stress, the water element, Yoga Nidra. The practice that has a very invigorating character and helps you focus, that's the fire element, Yoga Nidra. There is one dedicated to air element, which is the practice that is really uplifting and boosting creativity. And then there is also a space element, Yoga Nidra, that is designed to help you integrate, harmonize, and reach your full potential. And on top of that, there is also 2 bonus Yoga Nidras, one of which is actually designed to help your organs harmonize. So this is a very deeply relaxing practice that helps to relax the psoas muscles, and the organ system can rest on top of the psoas more harmoniously and in a more aligned way. So this is what I've been working on from the studio for months now, and hopefully it's going to be out and ready to be enjoyed either next week or the week after. So I'm just going to have a look at what you are saying. Oh, great. We even have someone from Canada. I can see that Simba the cat has also practiced Yoga Nidra. They love Yoga Nidra. So let's see if there's anything I have to answer. So far, no questions. Great. I'm happy that you have enjoyed the practice. If there is something that you would like to order for next Monday, go ahead. I'm staying with you to support you as much as I can during this very strange time that is obviously affecting not only our bodies, but also affecting our minds. And I know that many of you are in home isolation at the moment. So if you're feeling lonely, if you're isolating without your family, if you're by yourself, then my heart goes out to you. And I hope that you can make it through this time, staying sane and healthy, and actually being perhaps able to dedicate a little bit more time to your practice. And if you're sharing this self-isolation time with your family and it's difficult for you to reclaim your space, my heart goes out to you as well. And I hope that through this meditation or through your own yoga practice, through your personal practice, you manage to find an island of space, a little gap of me time that is so important and so needed if you're in a small confined space with other people for an extended period of time. And if you find yourself having difficulty grounding and letting go, you can always come back to this meditation. I'm going to save this recording so that this live stream is with you if you want to revisit it. And I hope that that resonated with you. I hope that that did something that helped you relax, that helped you prepare for a good night's rest. And I look forward to reconnecting with you again soon. Thank you so much for being here.